Huh. I feel like I'm in the Millennium Falcon. Roll that intro. What's up, Internet? Choose the dark side. That is our topic for today. Welcome back to All Pro Media with another lighting tutorial yet again. Today we are going to be talking about shooting from the shadow side of a scene. So we're going to be breaking this down into two ways. The first way is moving the lights around on a controlled set and getting the direction that you want. So that way your camera's there and you move the light in the right spot, so that way you are shooting from a shadow side. The other thing that we're going to show you is if you are on location and you don't have control of the lighting and you're using the available light, in that case, you will actually have to move the camera. So we're going to show you some techniques of where you would want to move the camera and why. So Adam over here is going to be moving the lights around to show us examples of why you want the key light over here and why you want the shadow side here. All right, so let's talk about the setup that we have going on here. Right now, the key light is hitting me with white light, so I'm well lit and I am a completely different color from the background, which is helping separate your subject, me, from the background. Plus, we've got an extra help here with the edge light giving me more shape, dimension, as well as making me pop off that background just a little bit more. It's a little nice touch that we just added. So this setup is pretty close to what you'll end up with, colors aside. Now Adam is going to move some things around to show you kind of how you shouldn't set this up. So we've got a shadow side where my fill should be, and when I'm looking directly towards the camera, this is what that would look like. However, if this was an interview and I was like looking off screen at whoever's interviewing me, then right now I would be facing the key side of the light. That is the correct way, and which makes the camera actually filming from the shadow side. And the reason why we would want me to be looking off camera this way is because you always want your subject to be facing towards the key light. It helps shape them better, gives it more dimension to have the shadow side, or the dark side in this case, on this side. We're going to show you what this light would look like when it's too broad. So Adam has added a light in front of me to show you the different direction of light. We're going to turn this one off and we're going to show you what broad lighting looks like. All right, so now we have a light directly hitting my face from the front. As you can see, it's pushing all of the shadows towards the back of me. This does a couple things. One, it's taking away all of the dimensionality of my body. With the exception of this light, there is nothing else that's helping me really pop from the background. It's very flat. You're also sending some shadows back there, which you can probably see in the background. That's another reason why you don't want a light from the front, because you will start to see shadows on your background and make it very evident that you're filming a video. You're also spilling a lot of light on the background, which we weren't doing before. So if you're trying to do a setup like this where there's color differences, then you're going to start to bleed some white light into that blue. But the main thing is it just looks like garbage. So this kind of light is what people refer to when they're talking about the camera adds 10 pounds. With this lack of dimensionality, it's showing your entire form and making you look broader, which is why this is broad lighting. So now let's look at an example of the opposite end of the spectrum, where we're going too dramatic and it doesn't work for maybe a corporate shoot or something. All right, Adam, hit it. All right, so now we've hit the other end. This is what you don't want to do with the lights if you're shooting some kind of corporate gig or something professional that isn't supposed to be dramatic, especially if the person's talking straight to the camera. Because as you can see, there's too much shadow on my face, there's no catch light hitting my eyes, and even though it's shaping me, it's not as pleasing as you want it to be. To be honest, I kind of like this lighting, but only in a certain context. If I was shooting some kind of like dramatic film and I was turned this way, this would be really sick lighting. However, if you're shooting some kind of commercial gig or anything corporate, this isn't very appropriate. All right, so now we've shown you what it would be like if you had complete control of the lighting. So now, different scenario. This is your available light. How would you want to shoot this? You need to move the camera, you need to adjust your talent. So Adam is going to move the camera to where this would be appropriate to shoot from the shadow side and have the subject, me, look towards the key light. So now we've moved the camera to where it would actually be appropriate for me to be looking in this direction. I'm talking to whoever is interviewing me, and the camera is shooting from the shadow side. So now that we've moved the camera and I'm looking in the direction of the key light, this is how you can be resourceful when you're on location and don't have control of the lighting. You've taken control of this setup and made it your own. Shooting from the shadow side is definitely giving me this dimensionality. But let's go back to our first setup. That's more like it. So when your camera up, choose the dark side. Make sure your talent looks at the light. So hit that like button, smash the subscribe button if you want to be a part of this channel. Please leave a comment if you have something to say, good or bad. We'd love to hear from you. Next week, we will be talking about Sony color science and Canon color science, or lack thereof. And I'll see you guys next week.